You ever feel like you're stuck in a loop in your love life? Like you're dating the same person over and over, just with a different face? Well, today we're going to dive into the work of relationship coach Jillian Turecki. She has this idea that the secret to a great partnership isn't really about finding the one, it's about the relationship you have with yourself.
And that quote, that's not just some dramatic opening line. That's from Jillian herself. See, for her, this whole philosophy isn't just theory. It was born from a day that was so devastating, it's hard to even imagine.
So, what exactly happened on that day? It wasn't just one bad thing. Nope. It was a perfect storm, a collision of three completely life-shattering events, all hitting her within a matter of hours. First, she gets the news that her mom, her best friend, has terminal cancer and only has 3 months to live. I mean, that alone is enough to just completely gut you, right? But it didn't stop there. On that exact same morning, she suffered her third miscarriage. So you have this immense grief for her mother, compounded by this deeply personal and physical loss. The pain was just piling on.
And then, just when you think it can't possibly get any worse, the final blow lands. She gets a text from her husband saying he's at his parents' place. She calls him, completely panicking, and right there on the phone, he ends their marriage. Just like that. He never even came home.
Can you even imagine that? Your health, your family, your marriage, just gone, all at once. And in that moment of absolute rock bottom, when everything she was leaning on was stripped away, she had this massive realization. The only common denominator in all of it was her. And that's where everything started to change. So, from the absolute ashes of the worst day of her life, she developed this core concept that would change everything. She calls it the relationship mirror. So, what does that even mean? It's actually a pretty simple idea, but it's so powerful. It means that what happens in our love lives isn't just random luck. The fights we have, the patterns we see, the way we connect, it's all a direct reflection of our own inner world, our own fears, our beliefs, and yeah, how we actually treat ourselves. And this is really the key. We spend so much time thinking a great relationship is about finding that one perfect person, but Jillian argues it has almost nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with the work we're willing to do on ourselves first. Okay, so this is where it gets really practical. And let's be clear, this isn't about blaming yourself for every relationship that's ever gone wrong. It's actually the total opposite. It's about empowerment. It's about realizing that you hold the keys to changing the patterns you're stuck in. This is the big one. It's the first of her 9 hard truths about love. Think about it. Every single relationship you've ever had, good or bad, has one thing in common. You were in it. And accepting that isn't supposed to be a burden. It's the first real step to taking your power back. I know this can feel a little abstract, so let's look at a real-life example. This is the story of one of Jillian's clients. We'll call her Jennifer. And Jennifer's story was painful. Every single man she'd ever seriously dated had cheated on her. Everyone. Now this slide, this is the whole game. Jennifer came in believing that all men cheat, that they just can't be trusted, but her breakthrough, her big aha moment, was realizing the story wasn't about all men. The story was about her choice. She'd been choosing the cheaters. She went from being a victim of circumstance to being an active player in her own life. And what did that actually look like? Well, when she finally looked back with totally honest eyes, the red flags were, well, they were everywhere. And they were there right from the beginning. She had been consistently overlooking massive issues, like alcoholism, a known history of cheating, anger problems, because her unconscious pattern was to pick men who were unavailable or just not healthy. So the huge takeaway from Jennifer's story is this. Once she shifted her mindset from, they all cheat on me, to, I keep choosing cheaters, she wasn't helpless anymore. She suddenly had agency. She had the power to learn, to grow, and to start making very different choices. So, how do we actually put this into practice? The whole philosophy, everything we've talked about really boils down to one single, powerful action that you have to take over and over again, choosing yourself. And that first truth, it begins with you, that's just the starting line. It opens up this whole framework of other hard truths, things like the mind is a battlefield and no one is coming to save you. They all point inward. They're all about building a foundation of self-love, honesty, and radical self-reliance before you can build anything lasting with someone else. And all of these ideas, the personal stories, the client case studies, those 9 hard truths, they're all laid out in her book. It's basically a roadmap for this journey of finding love by finding yourself first. If you only take one single thing away from all of this, please let it be this. This is the heart of the message. Stop waiting around for someone else to pick you, to validate you, to choose you. The real power is, and always has been, in you choosing yourself. So I'll just leave you with this question. It doesn't have to be some huge life-altering thing. What's one small, real choice you can make for yourself today, right now? Because that's really where it all begins.